Good evening, I'm Kimilia and this is KiniNews. P Ramasamy has claimed that the Dewi Sri Pathrakaliamman Temple committee had been pressured into accepting the agreement to relocate. He claimed that they had little choice but to comply with the demands. Urimai President P Ramasamy has claimed that the Dewi Sri Pathrakaliamman Temple committee was pressured into accepting the relocation settlement with Kuala Lumpur City Hall and landowner Jakel Trading. In a statement yesterday, he said Urimai strongly believes that the temple committee was pressured into accepting this relocation under the circumstances of duress and threats. He claimed that the decision was not made in a free and fair manner but rather under coercion, with Indian MPs from both the MIC and Pakatan Harapan failing to stand their ground. Ramasamy said that the temple committee, composed of ordinary members, had little choice but to comply with the demands placed upon them. Ramasamy also brought up critical details that he said remain unclear. While the new land is said to be comparable in size to the current temple grounds, he asked who will bear the costs of shifting the temple infrastructure development and other necessary works. Despite assistance provided by leaders in government, Ramasamy claimed that the temple's relocation will be remembered as one of the ruling coalition's greatest betrayals of the Indian community. He also warned of a loss of support from Indian voters towards Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's administration. Yesterday, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Federal Territories, Dr. Zaliha Mustafa, said the temple issue had been resolved after a relocation agreement was reached following negotiations between DBKL and the temple. Meanwhile, the Malaysia Council of Hindu Temples and Hindu Associations President N. Sivakumar said that many smaller illegal temples in the country may have been built by construction workers seeking protection for their job. Smaller temples built illegally may have been placed by construction workers seeking divine protection for their job. This is according to the Malaysia Council of Hindu Temples and Hindu Associations Mahima President N. Sivakumar. Sivakumar told Malaysia Kini that the practice was done not only by Hindu workers but by those of Chinese descent as well. He said later when the construction is over, they may have forgotten to remove it. Meanwhile, Sivakumar explained that older and larger temples had been built by state workers earlier in the country's history when most places were dense rainforests before development. He said with deforestation and development, the temples were then exposed to the public. He added that the government should establish a task force to specifically manage this issue. Sivakumar said that Mahima is also currently planning a blueprint for building Hindu houses of worship. He added that the blueprint will cover all sorts of issues such as how to register with the Registrar of Societies, where to apply for funds, suitable locations, and so on. Discourse on the illegal placement of temples and shrines had come up following the relocation of the Dewi Sri Pathrakaliamman Temple in Masjid India, Kuala Lumpur, to make way for a mosque. Still on the temple issue, Dr. Zaliha Mustafa announced last night that the temple will be relocated to a 4,000 square feet plot of land around 50 meters from the current site. Kuala Lumpur City Hall has agreed to relocate the Dewi Sri Pathrakaliamman Temple to a new location located approximately 50 meters from its current site along Jalan Munshi Abdullah off Jalan Masjid India. This was announced by Federal Territories Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa yesterday. According to Bernama, Zaliha said following discussions with various stakeholders, including the temple management, the government has identified a new site measuring 4,000 square feet, located about 50 meters from the current location, for the relocation of the temple. Zaliha also stressed that this resolution is specific to this case and should not be considered a precedent for other houses of worship. She said the government reminds all parties that any new place of worship must comply with existing guidelines and regulations to ensure harmony and public order in the federal territories. Meanwhile, MIC Deputy President M. Saravanan, who was present during the discussions, told Malaysia Kini that the land will be gazetted for the temple on a permanent basis.
I'll be gazetted under the temple's name. And the temple people also was very happy because it's within Masjid India now. And the temple can operate as usual until the new temple is completed. Okay. So meanwhile, the temple and the community at large happy with the settlement.
Other MPs present during the meeting were Batu MP P Prabhakaran, as well as the Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives Deputy Minister R. Ramanan, who both assisted the Temple Committee in past engagements with the government. Before we move on, consider supporting us by scanning the QR code on the screen and subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Two agencies have refuted claims of disruption to operations following the recent cyber attack against KLIA. According to the agency, passengers and operations were not affected. The National Cybersecurity Agency and Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad have denied claims that a recent cyber attack against the Kuala Lumpur International Airport's systems led to extensive disruptions of the airport's operations. This was in response to the accusations published by a news site. National Cybersecurity Agency Chief Executive Megat Zuhairi Megat Tajuddin said that there were no disruptions to flight services following the attack on March 23rd. He said the allegation is not true and MAHB had initiated a business continuity plan after the attack. Megat told Malaysia Kini that passengers were not affected and NACSA's forensic team is actively working with MAHB to identify the perpetrators behind the attack. Meanwhile, in a joint statement yesterday, MAHB and NACSA said a comprehensive investigation was immediately launched to determine the nature and extent of the incident. They added that relevant authorities, including NACSA and the Civil Aviation Authority Malaysia, were also notified after the threat was detected on March 23rd. Previously, News Straits Times cited a source as saying that KLIA's flight information display system, check-in counters and baggage handling procedures were rendered inoperative due to the cyber attack, forcing airlines and airport staff to resort to using manual operations. The source also said initial findings into the incident suggests that the prolonged outage is due to how the cyber intrusion had compromised KLIA's critical systems. An NGO has hit out at Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's silence over the Sabah scandal. Here's more on that. Gempur Rasuah Sabah has criticized Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, calling him a confused leader with contradictory principles. This is after he praised Sabah Chief Minister Haji Noor during an event recently. In a statement, its secretariat said it's impossible for a Prime Minister to be so ignorant as to not follow the developments of the Sabah corruption scandal, which involves several State Assembly persons, the Assembly Speaker and the Sabah Chief Minister. The group said that Anwar had emphasized on the importance of maintaining political stability, supposedly to focus on energy transition, industrial plans, and artificial intelligence, which are reshaping the global system. However, it added that he remains silent and seems to endorse the scandal that has shocked the people of Sabah. The Secretariat also stated that Anwar's political rhetoric is outdated and no longer resonates with the younger generation. It said that instead they evaluate governance structures based on integrity, honesty, and the current realities faced by the people in this state almost every day. The group was responding to news reports over a breaking of fast event in Sabah on Sunday, where Anwar reportedly commended Hajiji for being calm and moderate in facing political turmoil in the state. Since last November, a whistleblower has released videos and WhatsApp messages implicating several state representatives in a corruption scandal. Hajiji has claimed that the videos are an attempt to undermine his administration, while the business person has been accused of being part of a cartel seeking to monopolize mining in the state. Aaron Ago Dagang has urged the police to probe a racist incident against a Dayak salesperson. He said incidents like this should not happen and called for appropriate action to be taken. National Unity Minister Aaron Ago Dagang has urged police to investigate a viral video showing a Dayak salesperson allegedly being threatened and scolded by a man, including with racist words. The incident had occurred at Central Ice City, Shah Alam recently. In a post on Facebook, Aaron said incidents like this should not exist in the multiracial and multi-religious society of this country. He added that every individual deserves to be respected regardless of their ethnic, religious, or social status. He stressed that the National Unity Ministry will not compromise on any form of insult against any race in the country. Aaron also reminded all Malaysians to continue to maintain the harmony and unity in the country. He said all individuals has an important role in ensuring that this country continues to progress with respect and mutual understanding for each other. A post of the video which had spread had claimed that the woman was threatened and scolded by a customer over an alleged misunderstanding during a sales transaction. That is all for me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.